Hi everyone, it's Catherine. Welcome to my channel, Read Journal Love. And today I wanted to talk about one of my projects for next year, 2025. So I did not set any goals for me for 2025 except for two things. I want to explore from things that I've learned in the last 3 years of my reading journal information that I've learned about my reading life, reading habits, reading interests. So I want to explore more of those areas, and I want to put quality above quantity. So no more of this, like I wasn't like that until I started YouTube and like pushing the numbers or whatever, like I've got to do so many a month or whatever. And while I've enjoyed all of those, I want to really do some more deep books, because those are what I seem to enjoy. So, well, one of them. So, one of my projects is I have discovered that I like vintage books. I like books that were written by mostly ladies in this time frame of like the early 1900s to like the 60s. Like that time frame I just really enjoy. And I don't know why. It's not like a particular country or anything like that. I just like the way the books look, the way the books feel. I just felt like they're better quality as far as the book goes, and I don't know, I just feel like I like them more. So I want to explore this. And there are several channels that I enjoy on YouTube that talk a lot about these books, and I will put all of them below so that you can check them out as well if these kind of books interest you. So from the last, I don't know, it's probably been about a year that I've kind of discovered that I do like these. That I've kind of been collecting some names of authors I would like to try out or whatever. And one thing about me is that like I have always read. I've always loved to read, but it has never been like my number one thing. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been very active in my life with other things and hobbies and interests and school and career. And it wasn't until after, like in my 30s, that I kind of upped my reading into like one of my bigger hobbies. And there's a lot that I missed out on, I never really read the things that most people read. I was very different as a young person, I guess. So yeah, I've missed out on a lot. So I'm learning. I'm on YouTube. I'm not coming at you as somebody with all the knowledge, right? Like I'm learning. I'm doing this for my enjoyment and as part of my hobby. So I'm coming to you, people who watch me, for recommendations. So what I did is I'm calling this my Vintage Ladies project. And I hope that doesn't distract my voice from coming to my phone. But I made this little Dutch door thing here in my journal, and I've out of the people that I made a list of, I've picked 25 because it's 2025. And I'm not saying I'm gonna read all these 25 books. I just kind of gave myself 25. But I think it actually ended up being 24 because of the squares on here. Like I couldn't get 25 in here. So what I'm going to do is because I like to watch shorter videos, so I'm going to try and make more shorter videos. So I'm just going to go through the names and talk about if I already have thought of a book for them. And even if I have and you think of something better, please comment below. I want a recommendation for any of these women, the books that you've liked. And I will be very appreciative because I want to explore these, but then I don't want to waste my time either. Okay, number one, Georgette Hare. And she's like majorly popular, and I have never read anything by her. I don't have anything. My husband and I went to a used bookstore once, and I almost bought one that had a pirate in it or some type of pirate in the story. So I almost bought that one, but I didn't. Because it's paperback, and I'm really wanting to like get mostly hardcovers, like old vintage ones, you know? So yeah, Georgette Hare. And then the second one is Ellen Montgomery. And I'm thinking about reading The Blue Castle because like I haven't read Anne of Green Gables. I haven't read anything by Ellen Montgomery. I know, I'm horrible. But I'm thinking The Blue Castle because it was one for adults, and I don't know. Or do I need to prioritize Anne of Green Gables? My husband thinks Anne of Green Gables because he's read that and he thinks I would like Anne, but let me know below. Mary Reinhardt. This is one that I think Meg Purdue talks about some, but there's one called The Circular Staircase, and that one looks really interesting to me. Madeleine L'Engle, and that one I'm for sure reading because for my Decades Through Time, I'm going in the 60s. I'm reading The Wrinkle in Time because I never read that as a kid. Dorothy Sayers, and I want to read her because she was around that same time as Elizabeth Goudge and all of them, and I've got one flagged on my Libby that's a nonfiction, and then one that's the number one in the series. It's called Whose Body. It's like a kind of a cozy mystery, which you know I love. So that's where I'm going with that so far. And never read anything by her. Helen Wells, and I put her on there because, as you know, she's wrote a whole bunch of the Cherry Ames, and so I'll be able to explore more of her writing by reading more of my Cherry Ames collection. Agatha Christie, now she's one that I have read. I've read 2 of her books. Murder on the Orient Express. No, I've read 3. Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile, and then There Were None. So I'm trying to decide between, do I want to read 450 from Paddington, but then I heard that's wintry, Christmassy, and we've already almost done with that season. But then my husband found at one time The Mystery of the Blue Train. I mean, this is a very old, beat up old copy. The Mystery of the Blue Train. I love things about trains, so I thought that one might be kind of fun. What do you think about that one? Or should I go for 450 of from Paddington, or is there something different you would recommend? Knowing the 3 that I've read. I haven't read any Miss Marple, but that seems interesting to me. Okay, Edith Holden, and I don't really remember why I put her on here. Now I've lost my train of thought there. Let me know below if you like anything by her. Dorothy Gilman, and I put her on here because I have never read any of those Miss Polyfax books, and those are kind of cozy mysteries, and so I put her on here so I can try out a Miss Polyfax. And on one of them she was riding a motorcycle, and I was like, okay, that's like a buzzword for me. It's like a buzz thing for me, I think. And so I was like, maybe that one. I don't know. I don't even remember which one it was. Okay, Miss Reed. I've never read anything by her, and I first heard about her, I think, on Gina Stanyers. Is that how you say her last name? I always get it messed up, and I'm really sorry. A long time ago when she first started her channel, and it sounds really good. And so I'm thinking about Thrush Green, number 1, whatever that first one is, and that, let me know what you think. Grace Livingston Hill, and you know, she's real popular in the Christian romance. That was kind of like, she was kind of like the start of that or whatever. And Crystal, who watches my channel and has become my friend, she recommended to me Crimson Roses, and so I've been holding off on that book until around the month of February for Valentine's Day. And so I have that flagged in my Libby. And so I'm thinking about starting with Crimson Roses, and I love roses. I love, piano music, and there's supposed to be a piano thing in there. Just sounds very nice. So I'm looking forward to that. And so that's a must read for me. And then E. Nesbitt, and the one that I was thinking about is a children's book called The Enchanted Castle. That one sounded kind of good, cozy and nice. Let me know what you think. Patricia Hinsworth, and I can't remember what book of hers sounded really good, but she sounded like somebody I would enjoy. Daphne du Maurier. Now I've read one by her, Rebecca. Liked that book a lot, and I'm thinking about reading Jamaica Inn. Let me know what you think about that. D.E. Stevenson, never read anything by her. There was one called like The Three Graces, but then I realized that's part of a series, and I don't even know what that series is or what the first one is, but again, I'm exploring and just learning as I go. Phyllis Whitney. This is one that I heard on Mitzi's channel, Mitzi Reads and Writes, who I admire very much. And if you're watching, Mitzi, I love you. Keep going with what you're doing. So the first one that I've heard on her channel is, I've got this one on eBay called The Winter People. And it says it's a suspense novel. Looking for, and it talks about on the back counterpart of Victoria Holt, who I do know I like because I've read several of her Gothics. And then I've gotten, on Mitzi's advice, Silver Hill. And so I have that one to read as well at some time. It says a new novel of suspense. So those will be good. Those are the two I have. But if you think of something else, let me know below. Elizabeth Gooch. Now I have read one of her books this year, my first one, and pretty sure it's gonna be my book of the year. I don't know. I've just sat down once and thought about it, but that's The Little White Horse. I loved it. And so I want to read but more of an adult book by her. And then Eleanor H. Porter. I put her in here for a reason. Now I can't remember why. I should have wrote all these down, huh? Okay, Louisa May Alcott. And I am reading Little Women. And I just read the little old Christmas girl, or the little Christmas girl or something. And it was really good. And now I'm reading Little Women. So I may have enough for her at this point. But let me know below if there's one you think I should also put on here. There was one from Anne's channel this year or the past year. I want to read the hospital sketches because I love nursing stuff. So anything with nursing, it's another buzzword for me. So that is what I'm thinking next for her. Frances Hodgkins Burnett, and I can't think of why I put her on here. But she's another big name. I never read anything by her. Laura Ingalls Wilder, and I finally read in February. I read the first Little House on the Prairie book, and I really liked it. Very different read, and I learned a lot from reading that book and reading the comments. Because reading it, there was some stuff in there you just wouldn't think of today, but then you got to put yourself in that time. And so I learned a lot about how people talk about books, it was funny reading. We'll just say it was funny reading the comments, but I really enjoyed the book. And I think I gave it 4.5 stars. Willa Cather is one that I want to read. I just don't know. I'm thinking The Death of the Archbishop, but let me know what you think I should read first. Mary Stewart is another one, and I haven't really picked one that I prefer to read from her. Same with E.M. Delafield. They do have one in this by her. The Portrait of a Lady, or something like that, but in this series, so I thought that might be kind of neat. And that's all I have on my list so far that I would like to tackle as far as exploring these this time and this reading genre, culture, whatever you want to call it. It excites me, and to kind of dive into this, see how it goes. So that's my project. I've always liked the 30s and the 40s. That just was kind of like, if I was to go into another time, I think that time frame just kind of interests me, as far, especially because of music. I love the Great American Songbook, all those songs. Like, if I could go back in time and be, you know, some type of blues or cabaret singer, that would be, I would love that. I love music and I love the fashion, and especially the shoes from that time, the dresses. There's just something about the 30s and 40s just that I like. And it was very feminine. But then towards the end of the 50s, you know, when women had to go to work while the men went to war, there's just so much about that I just, you know, just women are strong. And yeah. So let me know what you think about these authors. I'm just really having a call out here for recommendations. So thank you for going on this journey with me. And okay, bye.